Jai Hind everyone, my name is Astha Sharma from CSE department at Ajay Kumar Garg Engineering College and my subject is operating system. So today I will talk about the paging and the segmentation. What is the purpose behind to using paging and segmentation in operating system? So paging, segmentation and segmented paging. So the paging segmentation, it is the memory management which we will use in the operating system, and it divides the process in the form of the address space into the segmentation and then divides the each segmentation into the form of the segment into the pages. And the segmented paging, on the other hand, it is a type of the memory management technique that divides the physical memory into the pages and maps all the memory pages into the logical address space used by the process in the form of the physical pages. Then these paging segmentation and the segmented paging both work as a memory utilization. It also increases the flexibility in the form of the operating system. It also reduces the fragmentation and it also increases the performance while computing any type of the process in the form of the operating system. They also provides the benefits of the segmentation, like the increase the flexibility and the memory allocation in the operating system. Now, as you can see, the advantage of the segmentation is it gives you the programmer to view about along with the advantage of the paging, and it also reduces the external advantages of the in the form of the comparison segmentation. As you can see, all the process divided in the form of the frames, and every frame is located in the form of any memory location state, and these memory location states it get categorized in the form of the segment of the process, like the process of the code, process of the data, and the stacks and the heaps in the form of the process. So the disadvantage is that internal fragmentation still exists in the form of the pages, and it requires the extra hardware to compute the process in the operating system. Now the advantage is like no external fragmentation is required to execute any programs, and it also reduces the requirement as the number of the pages limit to the segment size. As you can see, this page number it defines the process in the form of the page table, and this page number can be divided in the form of the pages in the operating system, and each pages define the segments of the process to execute their own process in the form of the operating system. The disadvantage is like the internal fragmentation and the hardware complexes was required. Next we see the demand paging. So demand paging in operating system, it used in the virtual memory space where the pages and it enters in the main memory only when it is requested or it is needed by the CPU. Then in the form of the demand paging, the operating system loads only the necessary pages in the program and it requested you in the more memory at the runtime. Instead of loading and entering the whole program into the memory at the start, it requires the demand paging to process the task or the jobs in the operating system. So what is page fault? The page fault, it is a type of the term we will use in the page missing. So the page fault refers to a situation in operating system where the referred page is not found in the main memory. And the thrashing, whereas the thrashing, it is a type of the term which is used to describe the state in which the excessive paging activities will taking place in the form of the computer system, and it especially in the form of use in the virtual memory and severely impairing the system performance. Next is the working process of the demand paging. So first, as you can see, when the CPU loads the process and it goes in the page table, and in page table it requires some type of segmentation was needed to store the process in the form of the page table. Then these page table goes to update in the operating system interface. Each operating system interface holds the process page table, and this page table can goes into the secondary memory, where is the form of the segmentation all the process can be stored in the secondary memory. Then these secondary memories updation goes to the main memory, actual location of the process to compute in the form and scheduling the process in the CPU scheduling. Then these secondary memory to the main memory goes, and after that if they will found any type of page missing or if they found any term thrashing, then they goes to updating in the page table and then again reload the process in the according to the page table, and then the CPU then execute the whole process, right? So demand paging can improve the system performance by reducing any type of the memory which is needed to program and allow the multiple program to run simultaneously, right? Next is what are the algorithm we will use in the demand paging. And the demand paging, it also also gives you the various platform in the operating system. Number one is the FIFO, which is first in first out. It replaces the old pages in the memory with the new one, and it's very simple, but you can use in the issues if the pages are frequently swapped in or the swapped out, leading to the thrashing. Number second algorithm is LRU, which is the least recently used. It replaces the pages that hasn't been used for the longest time, so it replaces the page and updated by the new one. Next is LFU, which is least frequently used. So it talks about the least frequently used pages and then replaces by the new one. So replacing the pages used the least number of time, it also reduces the thrashing, but it requires the extra time in tracking of how many of each pages is required to used. The next algorithm in demand paging is MRU, which is most recently used. It replaces the pages that was most recently used, right, in exchanging or in making the demand paging in operating system. Next one is the random. So the randomly select a page into the page and replaces with the new one. So it's very easy to implement, but it is unpredictable and in performance, because it leads you to the inflexibility or inscalability in while performing any tasks or any jobs in the operating system while using the demand paging. Next is demand paging in virtual memory. So with the demand paging, the operating system swaps the memory pages between the main memory and the secondary memory, which is based on their needs. So when any of the program or the CPU can schedule any type of the task or the job, then it needs a page which is not currently in the memory. Then the operating system retrieves its the location, retrieves its the memory and from the secondary storage, and that process is called the page fault. So the page fault mechanism can delay the program execution because the operating system must retrieve the pages from the secondary storage. The advantage of the demand paging in the virtual memory is like advantage, it leads you the efficiency in physical memory. It also leads you the flexibility while computing any tasks and jobs in operating system. It also reduces the memory usage, right? Disadvantage is like page fault is overloaded because we use some type of demand paging page fault algorithms to load and executes and replaces the page with the new one. Then the fragmentation is also one of the disadvantage in demand paging in virtual memory. Next is page replacement algorithm in operating system. So as I talked about you earlier, the few algorithms we needed in the page replacement algorithm. Number one is the FIFO, first in first out. Number second is optimal page replacement. Number two is LRU, which is least recently used, and the fourth one is MRU, which is most recently used. Though as you can see, here is the examples. We consider the page reference. Here is the string number was there, string like page fault number was there, 1 3 0 3 5 and 6 and 3. With the page frame we have the 3. So all the page frames we have in the terms we have C. So we find the number of the page fault using the FIFO page replacement. So so FIFO, which means the first in first out. So the first number which comes, they can place their place into the first in first out order. So we places the in the first segment, then 3 we places the second segment, then the third segment we place the 0. The next one, the 3 is already present, so we hit the third number. The next is the 5 is already present, no, so we replaces with the first in first out. So first segment of the page reference comes at the first place, which is 1, so we replaces with the 1 with the 5. So next one is the 6. So 6 first in first out, so we go to the next page references, yani page segment we go from. So then 6 is replaces by the second page references. Then the third is already present, 3 number is already present, so we missed that. So total number of the page fault is 6. How many 6? 1 2 3 4 5 and 6, right? So slots are very empty, so we come to the fault when the 3 comes into the memory. Then the 0 page fault, then the 5 comes, then the page 6 fault. So finally we have the page fault 6 while using the first in first out. So those process will come in the first, they will replace it by the first process. Next is optimal page replacement. Optimal page replacement, which means there is a few type of replacement was there. As you can see, the page references was there 7 0 1 2 3 0 3 0 4 2 3 0 3, right? With the page frame is 4. Earlier we have the page frame is 3. So in page frame 4, we one by one place the every page references in the page frame. So 7 is placed at the 1 level, then the 0 is placed in the second level, 1 is placed to the third level, and the 2 was placed to the fourth level, right? After that we have the 0. So the 0 is already present, so we hit 0 is already, so we can't replace this number, so we can't place any type of replacement. Then next is 3 is present, no, so we replaces by 3 with the 7 because optimal, so rarely used. Then next is 0 is already present, so we can't replace with the 0, right? Next is 4. So 4, every replacement, when you can change, every replacement goes to the upper level, right? So the 4 was present, so we 4 replaces with the 1, right? Next is 2 we replaces, no, we can't replace because 2 is already placed, so there is no replacement required to do this. Next is third is replaced by the 1 because first we replaced with the 7, then next we replaced with the 3, right? Hit, we can't change the any, so it means we can't require any type of replacement. Next one is 0. So 0 is already present, so we can't require any type of replacement in this. Next one is 3 we can't, so we can't require, already hit the button, already hit their page frame was there, so we can't replace it. Then next is 2 is already present, we can't replace it. Then next is 3 is already present, so we can't require any type of replacement. So the total number of page fault is 6. Next is least recently used. So we replace with the least, those page reference was least used, we replace it with the new page references. So here is the few examples was there. There is the page frame is the 4. So after that, one by one we fill every slots. After filling the every slot, then we compare the next element to the references. Here we have the 0, so the 0 is already present, so we don't need any type of replacements, right? Next one is 3 is already present, no, 3, so we need to replace. So least recently, so as you can see the 7 is already there, so the 7 we replaces with the 7, right? Next one is 0 is already, we don't require any type of replacement. Then next one is 4 we replaced every time you go to replace the, every time you go to jump with the next page references, right? Next we replaces by the 1, 4 we replaces by the 1. Next is 2, we don't require any type of replacement. Next is 3, so 3 is already there, in this also we don't require any type of page replacement. Next one is 0, again we don't require any type of page replacement. Next is 3 is already present, so every number you find out the hit, every time we match the value, then it calls to the hit, right? Next is 2 is already present, we don't require in this also the page replacement. Then the 3 already required, so the total page fault is 6, right? 1 2 3 4 5 6, right? Next, here is the statement was LRU has the same number of page fault as the optimal, but it differ according to the question, right? Next one is most recently used. So in this we replace the page reference with the most recently used page references. So the page frame, we have the 4 page frames, and here are the few strings in the form of page references. So at the 4 frames we filled with the every slotted page references. Then next we compare with the 0. So 0 is already present, so we don't need any type of page replacement, right? Next is 3 is already present, no, so we need to replace it, so we replace it with the 0, right? Next is 0 is already, no, so 0 is not present, so we replace it with the 3, right? Next is 4, 4 is already present? No. So we replace it with the 0, right? Next is 2, 2 is already present, right? So we don't need any type of replacement is there. Next one is 3, 3 is already present? No. So previously we are here in the page reference, yani page number we have the 4, so we replace it with the 4 number, right? So the 3 is replaced by the 2. Next 0, again the 3 is replaced by the 0. Next one is the 3 again. 3 is not present, so we need to replace it with the 0. Next one is 2, again we replace it by the 3, right? Next one is the 3, then 2 is replaced by the 3, right? So in this we have the total page fault is 12, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 and 12, right? In this, so how we can solve with this? All slots are empty, so we solve with the 7, 0, 1 and 2. Allocated the 4 page fault. When 3 comes, it take place to the 0 because it is most recently used, right? So we replace it with that page references. Again 4 we replace it with the 0 because there is only the 1 page fault. Then 2 is already in the memory, so the 0 page fault is found. Then 3 will take place with the place of 2 because that 2 references is most recently used. Again the 0 comes, 0 is replaced by the 3 because 3 is the most recently used value or page reference was there. Then again the 2 is also because the 3 is the most recently used page reference is we used as according to the algorithm, right? Next one is the cache memory. So cache memory is a type of the small, right, used in the operating system. It leads you to the high speed storage area in the computer, and it is a very smaller and the faster memory that copies of the data from the frequently used into the main memory location. So it is used variously. It is used to average the time of the access data from the main memory, and it is storing this information closer to the CPU. Cache memory, it helps you to speed up the operating system overall performance, overall processing time or the data, and cache memory is very much faster than the main memory we used in the operating system, which is the RAM, right? Next, the characteristics of the cache memory. So it is very fast memory. It is type act as the buffer between the RAM and the CPU, and it holds the frequently requested data and instruction, ensuring that they are the immediately available to the CPU when it is needed to require to operate the to compute any type of data in the operating system. It is very much costlier than the main memory or the disk memory, but more economical than the CPU registered. Next, it is used to speed up the processing and the synchronization with the speed of the CPU, right, with the control processing unit. Next, as you can see here, how the cache memory is work. So cache memory work as an interface between the CPU and the primary memory, right? So the performance, how we can calculate the performance of the cache memory. So the cache memory is frequently measured in the term of the hit ratio. So here we find out the hit ratio. So hit ratio, which means hit divided by, right, hit divided by hit plus how many miss fault the page reference was there, equal to the number of hit divided by the total accesses memory, right? Then the hit ratio, then there is also the miss ratio. So the miss divided by hit plus miss equal to the number of the miss divided by the total access, which means 1 minus hit ratio, right? Next is the cache mapping. So cache mapping refers to the method which is used to store the data from the main memory into the cache memory, right? It determines how the data from the memory in the map to specify the location into the cache memory in operating system. So there are the 3 types of mappings is required used in the purpose of the cache memory. Number 1 is the direct mapping, right? Number 2 is the fully associative mapping, and number 3 is the set associative mapping. So let's talk about the direct mapping. Direct mapping, it is a very simple and it is very commonly used in operating system, which is used in the cache mapping technique, where each block of the main memory is mapped to exactly the one location in the cache, that is called the cache line. So as you can see there, I equal to j module, right, and m equal to j mod of m, where the I is the cache line of the number and j is the main memory into the block number and m is the number of the lines in the cache memory. So as you can see, with the help of this we can direct map in the operating system. Next, there are the type of the two memory typical address we require to map and split it into the two. Number one is the index field and number two is the block offset. So the index field is represented in the form of the block number, where the index fields bit tells you about the location of the block where the word can be used. Then block offset, it is type of the word which is used in the operating system, kind of a memory block that used in the form of the block offset. And the index block offset is a type of the offset we used in the main memory, and the index, it is a cache line number which is the part of the memory address which determines where the cache line or the slot of data will be placed. As you can see, the cache memory, the main memory, it can in the form of the index bit, index field, and the black or the block offset. Then it can be divided into the cache memory, where we find out the tags, the index, and the black offset of the location of the particular index process in the operating system. Next is the fully associative mapping. Fully associative mapping, it is a type of the cache mapping where any type of or the block of the main memory can be stored in the cache line operating system. Unlike direct mapping, where each memory block is restricted to the specific cache line based on its index, right? Fully associative mapping gives the cache and the flexibility to place a memory block in the memory available spaces. You can see the cache tag here. The cache is in cache memory, we have the tags and the block offsets. Was here you can see in the form of the text, every number of lines was present in the form of the cache memory, and these cache memory goes directly to the main memory. Right. Next is, what is the locality of the references? It is a type of the phenomenon which is used in the operating system computer program which tends you to the access some set of the memory location for the particular period of time. In the other words, we say the locality of the references refers to the tendency of the computer program to access some kind of instructions, and addresses are near one another. So the property of the locality of the references is mainly shown in the form of the loops or the subroutines calls in the program. As you can see, in secondary memory goes to the directly to the input output operation. After the input output operation, they loads to the main memory, and the main memory loads the all information to cache memory. Cache memory directly goes to the CPU, and the cache line register the each process form of locality of the references, which leads you to tends the same access of same set of the memory location for the period of a time. Next is, in case of loops in program, the control processing unit repeatedly refers to the set of instruction that can be constituted of the loop, and in case we instructed and all the memory of the location can be calls in the form of the subroutines, and it can get localized. That means the same data is referred to again and again. As you can see, main memory to the cache memory to the CPU. So the interface we use in the form of the slow processing, we use the cache memory. So the main memory goes to the CPU, and the CPU first attempt hit in the cache memory. So there is no found in the cache memory. So we found the cache miss. Cache operation are those operations that allow the fast data retrieval by using any type of principle of locality of the references. So they store that the nearby or the same data in the cache memory. If they are frequently accessed by the CPU, then the two ways we use the data or that can be instructed or fetched from the main memory or get the stored in the cache memory. So the two ways can be followed. Number one is the temporary locality. Temporary locality, which means the current data or instruction can be fetched or may be needed soon. So it stores the data instruction cache memory and goes and so that we can avoid again and again searching of the main memory for the same data, right? Next is special locality. Special locality means the set of instruction or data can goes to the current memory location that is the being fetched or can be needed soon by the near of the future, and it's slightly very much different from the temporal locality. And here we talked about nearly the location of the memory location where we used in the actual memory, and the data can be being fetched. As we can see in the main memory, the process or the data task can be stored in the form of the PCB block. Then in the cache memory, we temporarily saved the current memory location of the CPU. The CPU can access the current memory location, the data in the form of the tag and the data, and the tag in the form of the cache, we use the memory storage data, right? Next one is the cache performance. Cache performance is mainly used measured in the term of the hit ratio. So in the CPU refers to the memory and find out the data instruction in the form of the cache memory that we call the cache hit. So if the desired data or instruction is not found in the cache memory, or CPU refers to the main memory to find the data instruction called the cache miss. As you can see, hit plus miss equal to the total CPU references, right? And hit, which means if you want to calculate the hit ratio equal to hit divided by hit plus miss, and the miss ratio is 1 minus hit ratio, and the miss ratio is a miss divided by the hit ratio, right? If you want to calculate the average time of the access memory, then simultaneously we have the H, which means the hit ratio, right? And TC is the cache memory we use, and 1 minus H, which means the memory of the location of the time, right? And the accessing the time ratio. And for hierarchical we use the same type of but in a different form, right? Next, so thank you everyone.